Hello and welcome. We'll continue our discussion on finding the domain and range of inverse trigonometric functions. We have to find the domain and range for this function. So we have cos inverse square root of x square minus 4. So now this value should be between -1 to 1. -1 to 1 x square square root of x square minus 4. Now you can see here this square root value cannot have negative value, so we can exclude whatever value put to x square. That should not give us negative values, so we can truncate this. So the minimum value it can have is from 0 whenever we have square root function like this. Square minus 4 x square minus 4 can have from 0 to 1, not minus to 1, because we have square root. So now I'll free this, and we have to make this as x. So I'll square on both sides. So if I square, I'll get 0 less than or equal to x square minus 4 less than or equal to 1. Now I'll add 4 on both sides. 4 less than or equal to x square minus 4 plus 4 will cancel. So we'll get 1 plus 4 is 5. Now I take square root. So this becomes mod x less than or equal to 2 less than or equal to root 5. So we can divide this into two parts. One is 2 less than or equal to mod x. The other one is mod x greater. Okay. Mod x is less than or equal to root 5. So from this I can write mod x greater than or equal to 2. What does it mean? It means I take 0, and the distance should be greater than 2. So it can be from, you can take any point after 2, then that the distance of that point to 0 will be greater than 2. Similarly, at the left side you can take any point after -2. -2 is also included because we have equal here. So this is my interval where the length or the distance from origin is greater than or equal to 2. So this is actually -infinity to -2 union 2 to infinity, 2 to infinity. Now what about this? So here we have 0. Root 5 is greater than 2. So let me take here root 5, which is greater, 2 comes here, greater than 2. So -2 is here. Let's take minus root 5 here. So now the inequality is saying the distance of the origin should be less than root 5 20 points. So that will be this region, the distance between any point. If you take any point, the distance will be less than root 5. So this is my thing for this one, which is minus root 5 to root 5. Both are included. So now what is the exact domain? So this is actually the intersection of these 2 points. So the intersection will be this and this. So the domain is minus root 5 to -2 union 2 to root 5. So this is my domain. So domain is this. Let's find the range. The range is, to find the range, what I do is I can apply cos inverse to this value, to this value, to this value, and to this value, or I can directly go here. I can go directly here, because when we have square root we cannot have negative values. So I can apply cos inverse to this. So cos inverse of 0 less than or equal to cos inverse of root x square minus 4 less than or equal to cos inverse of 1. Cos inverse of 0 is pi by 2 less than or equal to cos inverse of root x square minus 4 cos inverse of 1 is 0. So the range is between 0 to pi by 2. So I have to change this as greater than or equal to greater. So this is my range 0 to pi by 2. Let's move on to the next problem. We have square root of sine inverse of x. So now let us take this value. This value should be between -1 to 1. So there is no problem for sine inverse to exist when the x is between -1 to 1. But the problem is if it takes -1, let's say if it takes -1, I'll get sine inverse of -1 under square root. Sine inverse of -1 is minus pi by 2. So minus pi by 2 will not exist. So anything between any value between -1 to 0 will not give you proper value. So what we have to do is we have to take values from 0 to 1. So that will be the domain. So the domain is 0 to 1. What is the range? To find the range, I'll apply sine inverse to this function, to this equation. So I'll get sine inverse of 0 less than or equal to sine inverse of x less than or equal to sine inverse of 1. Sine inverse of 0 is 0 less than or equal to sine inverse of x less than or equal to sine inverse of 1 is pi by 2. But I need the range of square root of sine inverse of x. So I'll take square root for the whole equation. I'll get root 0 square root of sine inverse of x sine square root of pi by 2. So the range is 0 to root pi by 2. So the range, I can write it like, let me write it properly. So the range is between the square root of 0 is 0, square root of pi over 2. This is my range. Thanks for watching.